My name is Paul. I've been diagnosed with AS for around about 8 or 9 years. I probably had AS for a lot longer than that, but I've been diagnosed for around about 8 or 9 years. Life with AS is a challenge. I wouldn't say that it wasn't. I have 3 young children, 3 fantastic children who keep me on my feet and keep me active. But there are ways to manage this chronic condition that you will live with for the rest of your life. I find ways of just getting through the day. Some days I don't think about AS very much, other days I do. But there'll always be little triggers in my life that will make me think I need to stretch, I need to move. It might be just walking to the kitchen to get a cup of coffee. But other things, involve my children as well. So I'll take them swimming. While they're swimming, I'll be in the corner doing stretches. I'll take my 4-year-old to baby gym, and I'll be on a trampoline doing stretches when he doesn't even know that I'm doing it. Other things, walking around the park, getting out, being active as much as possible. And that's quite hard with a desk job, where I'm sat in a hunched position all the time, but it is important to move. And there is so much out there that you can do with AS. I would hate for people to think that there isn't any pathway to happiness with AS, because there is. It's just finding what works for you and what doesn't, and what your limitations are, as you would with anything in life. There are most definitely dark days with AS. I haven't ever been clinically diagnosed with depression, but I do feel like there are days when I am depressed and down. It's difficult to overcome those challenges. There are most certainly peaks and troughs for people with AS. It's trying to make sure that you speak to people at those times. I find that, pre-diagnosis, I was cutting myself off from friends a lot. I would say no to things more than I say yes to things. Now it's a case of, well, can you do it, or are you just saying no because it's the easy option? And it was a way of trying to cope with those difficult days that my wife stepped in, and she was the one that said, you can actually do this. It's your old mind telling you that you can't do it. But it is very difficult to overcome those days. And there are day-to-day challenges as well. There's washing my hair. It's very difficult to lift my arms up very early on in the morning. There are social events that I just can't make. The times when I've used all my energy at work, I've used all my energy with my children, and I have to still say no to things, but that's perfectly fine. If you find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, you can lead a wonderful, long, happy life. I've still got a long time to go, but I'm quite positive about the rest of my life, rather than feeling, I've got a degenerative, chronic condition that's going to get me down all the time. I'm not going to let that happen. If I had the chance to give someone advice that was newly diagnosed, I would tell them to contact NAS first. There's such a wonderful network of support. There's over 90 branches within the UK. That's great for, being able to speak to other people with AS, because I think a lot of the time the psychological aspect and the impact of AS on patients is overlooked. And it's just good to talk to other people with AS and to find out what works for them, what doesn't work for them, to reassure yourself more than anything that the pain that you're feeling is normal and natural, and it's okay to go through these ups and downs and dips, because it isn't a smooth course. Once you're diagnosed and once you're in treatment, there are peaks and troughs, but by being able to speak to other people, it helps with that. The other thing I would say is to try and exercise as much as you can. It goes against the grain to say that the disease improves with exercise, but AS really does improve with exercise. It doesn't need to be heavy impact exercise. With me, it works just swimming, walking, keeping active, low impact exercise. I also have massage regularly, acupuncture, alternative therapies, whatever you find works for you, but keep trying other things. Don't close yourself away. Don't cut yourself off. Try and educate yourself as much as you can, and the best way to do that is to speaking through NAS and to speaking with other people with AS who've gone through far worse experiences than you may have gone through.